Welcome to FIDE World Junior Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship. It is first ever edition of the event.
Yes, this is the first time ever for this world event, World Junior Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship, to be held in history, and we can't wait. And we are very exciting to of course see all of these talented junior players from all around the world competing, participating to of course fight the title of being the first ever World Junior Blitz and Rapid champions.
Yes, and as we mentioned, it is the first ever that is organized and already attracted a lot of strong players. Of course, it's a very prestigious event, but we also have a great prize fund because the winner is going to get 2,500 euros in the open section and 1.5 in girls section. So
Wow.
this is absolutely amazing. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I was really surprised. So no wonder we have such a
Yes.
field of players here.
Yes, we have so many players participating from more than 27 countries, and also we have also prodigies from all around the world here in the boys and girls section, and yeah, very amazing prize fund, and it is held in Sardinia, Italy, which is a very beautiful place. So yeah, amazing.
Yes, so commentating for you, this event is going to be, both of us together. From today, we have 3 days of the rapid event. Then we have one free day on Friday, although there will be many attractions organized for the participants and the guests of the
Yes.
event. And then on the weekend, we have a Blitz, and on Sunday the grand finale. But we will be with you all the time. So my name is Anna Kantane. I am a woman international master from Poland.
And my name is Diajeng Theresa Singgih, and I'm a woman FIDE master from Indonesia.
So exciting. We have two ladies commentating this event for you, and great Theresa to be here with you. I'm sure we are going to have a great time together watching very interesting games for sure. And what about we
Absolutely.
take a look at our... Yeah, sorry.
Have Anna here, and yeah, we will make such an amazing team commentating for the week for the whole um in uh in in boys section, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have Raunak Satwani here from India to playing against Nicolo. This just started, and this is round one, and we are looking at board one. This is still opening, right, Anna? What do you think about this position, or how is it going to be?
Well, for sure it will be, very exciting. That I have no doubts about. So yes, dear viewers, you see here we have, thanks to our amazing broadcast team as well, great camera view on the players. First number, Raunak Sadwani, is rated
Yes.
2591, and he's playing against a player from Italy. So against the one of maybe local heroes, Nicolo Casadio. With the colors that we mentioned, white for the top seat of the event. Yeah, this is already, of course, well known probably for the white
Yes.
player. Looking at the time, because we have, dear viewers, we have 15 minutes plus 10 seconds. This is a very typical rapid control. So if we have over 16 minutes on the clock, that could indicate that the player is still in his home preparation.
Ronak is he is on fire. Recently, he won Serbia Open, and also he just reached classical FIDE rating of 2650 recently, and just won a European Chess Club in the same team with Carson and many strong players. And also, I think he's on fire, and Also, he's a local prodigious from India, so he's such an amazing player, and I can't wait to see what he's going. How I can't wait to see, and very exciting to see his performance in this tournament, as he will play Rapid and Blitz, and as a top seed. So we expect something from him, of course. So yeah, I really can't wait.
Yes, certainly. He is a favorite in both events, as you mentioned. Actually, his blitz rating is even better. So in a moment, actually, we could take a look at our top seeds. But about this
Yes.
position, well, we had some French. I believe we can take a look from the beginning. Do you want to? We can just very
Yeah,
quickly
sure.
show you and check this out. Check this out, Queenie 2 again.
Wow,
French.
Queenie too. Queenie too from Ronak. Okay, but yet his time is increasing rather than decreasing. So okay, he doesn't have any difficult time.
I mean, obviously, when somebody plays the French, they want to get d5 pawn defended by the e6 pawn. So in case of captures, e6 pawn can capture. But now after queen e2, queen is saying like, no, it's not going to happen. So the e6 pawn would have been, for example, in this case, pinned. So we cannot capture. Well, very tricky approach. I think in the opening, more than the actual lines, especially in the shorter time controls, what matters is a cool idea. So you just want to get a game. You want to get a position that you understand better than your opponent. It doesn't necessarily have to be a better position, but it has to be something you feel comfortable with and just familiar with the ideas and plans. How do you approach the opening, Theresa?
Yeah, for me, similarly, of course, especially in the Rapid and Blitz, I believe that in terms of time, and just play an okay opening, and we can save the time on the positions that matters later. Have enough time on the critical positions. So yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how has this developed. And we have white taking the center, but black is also counter-attacking. Obviously, now knights are aiming at this d4 pawn, which is typical. And the queen, of course, on d6 as well. So very common French ideas. And after g4, knight has to retreat, and knight c3. So I actually think that white is very comfortable here because he has a lot of space. I don't really see black's compensation that clearly. Yeah, I'm thinking if white can sometimes push h5 as well.
h5 okay. Probably queen b1 would be... but let's see what will Ronak do. Okay, queen a2. I was too eager on this diagonal, yeah. Okay, I can see white start. White is starting to dominate the position here, little by little.
Yeah, I believe this is just what he wanted. He's just a bit better because, yeah, as you see, probably there are viewers that you're watching us on the hopefully FIDE YouTube channel, I believe. Yeah, as far as the space, white has just much more of it in the center, on the king side. So some typical ideas for black are not so easily achieved. And we'll maybe get back to this board since this is a top board. But let's see now a second board of the event. This is still an open event, unless we are going to take a look at the top board of the ladies. Theresa, what would you say?
Oh, yeah, I guess let's do that. Let's go to the latest.
Okay, apologies. Okay, let's see. In that case, because of course we have Yeah, we have open section and we have women's section. So now when we are going to look at this position, I just wanted to tell you that we have an amazing field of players in the women's section from Kazakhstan, because 4 out of the top 5 players are exactly representing Kazakhstan. And the first seat, Amina Kairbekova.
Yep.
Amina, oh, sorry, yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Amina Kairbekova, she is rated 2197, and she is, she is number 1 out of the whole women's event. So what can we say about this position?
And also, yeah, I think this is still, this is just starting, and Daria, she just moved the knight to g4, trying to do something there. And what do you think about this knight? What should white do about this position, and especially, how to react on this recent move, knight g4?
All right, let's see. What would I do? Okay, so I think I would have probably taken the knight, because normally in such positions, so just, after a very quick look, I see we have the pawns on the light squares, and usually you prefer in that situation to trade your light square bishop, because if you, for example, allow in some situations your dark square bishop to be captured, then you have pawns on the light squares, bishop is also on the light squares, and nobody to guard the dark squares, right?
Absolutely.
It's kind of a simplified version of how to approach the strategical exchanges, and then later who controls the squares. But yeah, normally in those positions, you would maybe take. After taking, even f3 is an option.
Yes, f3, and after f3, probably we can put the rook to d1. Obviously, the rook a to d1, and do some. And there is a nice threat actually. After bishop takes g4, bishop takes g4. Bishop g4, bishop g4, f3. This is what I think. Probably bishop back to e6, and I think this is quite a good idea to move the rook from rook a to d1, because the d6 is. But okay, we have c4 here. I missed it. But still, it's still one of the candidate moves, right? Like to bring the rook back. I mean, to bring the rook out.
For sure. I would probably, so I completely agree with your idea that you want to put the rook on d1. Maybe rook from f to d1 is also an option in this position, to put rook from f to d1, and then rook c1 as well, and pawn on c4, that you noticed is maybe sometimes hanging, is no longer in a big danger with the rook on c1 guarding it. Again, I think white is enjoying a nice advantage in general. Again, we have space for the top seed of the tournament, right?
You're right. And yeah, probably we will get back to this board later, and let's check second board of the top lady of the ladies section. We have Defy here playing as black, playing against Sifia Borden. Gofar Beydulayeva was World Junior female champion last year, which also that's what I know. So let's see what she has now. I mean, what is she playing here?
Yeah, so now the black pieces against Italian player Sylvia Bordin. Well, I think this should still be very close to theoretical lines, because those ideas are very typical. We had neither, and when we know when we hear neither, we know it's gonna include a lot of theory. We are not going to dive in all of the variations possible.
Yes.
But I do want to point out a very cool move in move number 6. Just a quick reaction against the knight of h4 by Sylvia. So it's not one of the main moves, but all those h4 ideas are becoming very fancy. And so it just indicates that the game can be very interesting, and that the player playing with white pieces is also very ambitious despite playing with a higher rating, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then we had some typical changes, and now the position currently on the board is this one. So Theresa, tell me, are you a Sicilian player yourself? Which side would you choose here?
I would say white, because I barely ever played Sicilian as black, so I always being confident playing it as white, because of course I know more ideas playing as white. But yeah, here in this game, I see a significant times difference, from black.
Yeah.
And
yeah, this is what I was mentioning. I think this move h4 actually was the one
h4 was
putting a bit of pressure from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Which as black or as white?
Sorry, I lost you for a second, but I believe I have it back. So, this is very complicated for me to answer this question, because I am a Sicilian player myself as black, and I am also e4 player, and I do go for the main open Sicilian most of the time. So I could have this or very similar position myself with basically both colors, but I somehow think that white is a bit ahead here because of the... Yeah, I don't know. Somehow it feels like pawn is no longer on e6. And when I play Sicilian, I have my pawn on e6 to guard the f5 and d5 squares. So here it's not the case.
Yeah.
And I never feel comfortable if those squares are too exposed. So in that way, I guess this position suits me more.
I see.
From the white side. And she's playing pretty quickly. So I think this could be interesting, because you mentioned Gauhar. She is one of the best players in the world, simply. She was a world champion. She's here the second seed. And already in the very first game, some pressure is applied against her. And just reminding, we'll have 11 rounds in the rapid section. So, of course, it's quite a lot. Even if you have some worse game in the first round, anything can still happen.
It's still fine. It's still fine. Yeah. No, anything can happen. Sure. So, yeah. So, this is both players still trying here, and I mean, to take over, to take domination of the position. In few moves, we can see the progress and how the position is going to be. Let's check another board, shall we, Anna?
All right. So should we go back to the open section just for a moment? Maybe in the future we should probably look first only at one section and then at other. But I think we can take a look at board number 2. See the second seed of the open section, and then also take a look at generally our top seeds, and we have a very nice graphic prepared for you guys, so we can just get to know our favorites in the event. But that I think we can do after this one. And here is the second board of the event, and Arseny Nesterov, who is playing with black pieces. He is the second seed with 2539 ELO rating in rapid, and he also had a medal in a world championship under 20 that have finished somehow recently, a couple of weeks ago in
Yes.
Mexico. So he has just had this amazing result, probably one of his best results ever. And yeah, he's fighting again here to repeat a big success.
Yes. He's one of we have in this tournament, and let's see what he's going to tournament. Yeah, and in this position, what do you think, Anna? I still think that this is still a little bit of chaotic position, but okay, Konstantin
Totally.
has
I agree.
yes, Konstantin has like 5 minutes more. So yeah, I mean in rapid, yeah, I think a little bit of time difference is very it matters, unlike standards, when we have like when we have like a 5 minutes or 10 minutes different, we can still relax because we have like probably a couple of hours more of time. But in rapid and blitz, 1 minute 2 minutes matter. So yeah, this is also one of the things that we should that we should not only on the tactics and on the time.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think this is basically crucial, especially that myself, I am quite a slow player. So time travel is unfortunately my very good friend, so I often tend to struggle with it. And I know how painful that is because even if you have played a great game, and then you don't have enough time to let's say realize your advantage in the precise way, or you simply blunder in one move, which also happens. It can be very painful, and all your effort is suddenly gone. So now certainly here time management will be a huge factor in this tournament.
Yes, agree. Absolutely. And here I can see that knight is doing something there on f5. And I
Doing
don't
something,
feel good.
sneaky knight.
Yes, I honestly don't feel good playing as black in this position. Okay, we have tons of discussions about and debate over like bishop pair and blah blah blah, and I agree, like in many positions bishop pairs are powerful, but guys, it's not always the case, and it's not always happen in every positions, especially when you have a powerful knight, when your opponent have a powerful knight and sneaky knight like position. Sometimes bishop pair doesn't really have something in this kind of position. How you agree with me, Anna?
No. Completely. And this is another interesting thing because I have always been a big fan of bishop pair, of bishops in general, to the extent that I sometimes wasn't even considering exchanging my bishop for the knight, even if it would have been a good decision. I was just so, focused. My bishop is like my treasure. But last couple of years, I started to appreciate knights much more. And especially we hear about knights in tactical positions. That is, of course, kind of obvious. So we learn about the forks from a young age and about the sneakiness and trickiness of the knight. But, what I started to appreciate last couple of years is that in strategical positions, if you actually are going to have a good knight against a bad bishop, then it is just suffering. So
yes.
And sometimes you have a bishop, it's kind of semi-open position or even open, but you have, let's say, ending and there is no targets. The bishop starts to be useless because it only controls half of the board. Meanwhile, the knight, even though it's a bit slower, it can jump to any square, right?
Absolutely. And it actually takes practice and times, to know. I mean, it takes a good player to know, to be able to assess which one we need in any positions. Is it bishop pair or knight, and in the positions that we are being offered of exchange. Whether we should keep our bishop, or kept exchange it, and anything like that. Okay, when we are younger, and we just started, of course, like bishop pair seems like very attractive to us, because our positional assessment, of course, not as good as now, compared to like back then. But yeah, when we are getting better at chess and getting good, we can see that actually bishop pair is not always the case, and we can, just like what you said, and just like what you have mentioned earlier, that I totally agree, that as time goes by, we started to appreciate knights more. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be the case. I am a little bit surprised with this last decision by White. So in terms of the time management, we see Black is really falling behind. But I was expecting Black's last move, F takes E5. I was, really expecting that White will simply take back. Oh, sorry. White will simply take back, and then, Knight G3 was already attacking the E4 pawn. So you have the pawn hanging, White simply wanting to grab it, being, with an extra pawn. But, and, simply there is not an obvious way how to defend the E4 pawn, and counterattacking. If you cannot defend, you should look for counterattacks. It's a very good rule. But then still, White can simply defend with bishop C3, the E5 pawn.
Bishop C3 is a very solid move.
Yeah, but you know what? He didn't do it. I mean, Konstantin Andreev, he simply took on E4. And so he, obviously much deeper in the position than myself, assessed that he wants to take it, but it somehow feels like it leads to perhaps some mess. Okay, it's a mess. Look, it's a huge mess.
Yes.
The position is starting to open up. So F3 now. Look, guys, we can stay by this position, I think, for a moment, because it's very interesting. F3, of course. Look what happened. Knight C5. White is attacking the knight. And what I have just mentioned, it's really good to look for counterattacks. So actually very, very important topic. I am a coach myself, and I always also tell to my students, before you just defend, which is kind of passive because you're just reacting, try to see if you cannot make an active move with counterattack, with stronger threat, and so that your position would be going forward instead of your opponent. So this is the idea. Okay, F2 would win the rook, so knight doesn't want to grab the bishop.
G takes F3 is quite mandatory in this position, because
no other
option, I think.
Should be, right? Bishop E3 is some way of stopping.
Okay. Bishop E3?
Okay,
Knight D3 also?
Hanging?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, I don't see why, but first move to consider, indeed, will be taking on F3. We see the players on the camera, and we have this moment that Konstantin is thinking about those options, because first thing, I believe, as a player, you simply think, okay, do I want to take? And he takes. Now bishop F3 probably will be played very quickly, because the bishop is still hanging. So we have it. And
yes, and now the position is unclear, I can say. White was better. White was better before the moves that we were calculating. And now I can say this is black is not really bad here, and Arsenic managed to equalize the position with a big time difference.
Yeah, I think maybe this was a crucial moment because white somehow allowed to exchange the pawns, and black had the weaknesses, and the pawns got exchanged, the weak pawns for black, and the normal pawns for the white. So it's an achievement for the black player, and also the position opened up a little bit, which also favors black. And I think now it could be very tricky. So yeah, quite a development on this board, but I think now it's going to slow down a bit. It became cooler in a way. So why don't we very quickly see the graphic just with the top seeds, and then we jump back to the action. So let's see our top 10 players for the open section. And I don't know if you can see together the top 10 players for the women's section on the screen. Maybe we cannot at the moment. So,
Yes.
So guys, we will show it to you later. Seems it's not possible now, but yeah, we have just very close field, a lot of strong players, because even though we mentioned for now the top two, we could still just tell you more about our top seeds. But let's for now take a look at the board number 3 of the open section. Board number 3. Open section, we have Samir Sahidi against Fabian Frey. Very big rating difference, it's over 400 points, just guys, to put it into perspective. So of course it's a big challenge for all the guys that are from the bottom. So anyway, good for them for fighting, because very interesting games anyway. So yeah, let's see, what do we have here? What are your thoughts, Theresa, about this position?
Okay. Here, I think, okay, after playing c3, of course, black should think of what should he do with the bishop. But to be honest, in this kind of position, I don't really like the isolated pawn on d6. I don't know if it's just me. Okay, isolated pawn are, of course, we have a thing with it. It's most of the times are weak, but in certain positions, in some positions, there's just typical ideas of the opening. So sometimes it doesn't make any problem. But for me personally, I don't really like to have such position, where I have like isolated pawn, especially from the opening. And in this position, I would prefer actually white, because we have bishop pair. Okay, this case, bishop pair, I think in this position is good. And also there is an isolated pawn from black on d6. So I think here white has more ideas and yeah, quite dominating for a bit in this position. Yeah, what do you think, Anna?
Yeah, you know what? I actually, okay. So yeah, first thing that we can take a look at is indeed this isolated pawn and the bishop pair. But then there are also some things that black could play for. There is a strong bishop. So I think it's kind of precise if black is in time. Because if black is not in time to create some counter game, and white has all the time in the world, and we, I would love to maybe exchange the bishops, maybe push f4, bring the rook to d1 and win the d6 pawn. This is like a perfect scenario for white. But when I look at this position, I don't really see how easily to solve the issue of the bishop on g7, aiming at the b2 pawn, and thus, our bishop from c1 cannot really be developed. Either rook b1, which is kind of passive. Yes, I think this is like a big question in this position. How easily can white solve this issue?
Yes,
and rook
probably
b1 is on the board.
B1, yes, after rook b1, probably only after rook b1, white can think about what will he do with the bishop. Probably move it to f4 or or even e3. But of course, first thing first, we gotta think about the b2 first and defend it in any way. Probably rook b1 or queen e2.
Yeah, but it's interesting because we have a very small time for the higher rated player. So Fabian Frey, still 2 minutes. We see again on the screen he has played f5. And look at that. Look at that. So he is finding some tactical issues because after queen e7, he actually prepared, that the rook on e1 will not have enough defenders. So pawn on e4 is pinned. And this is the viewers, I can just say that after such a move like queen e7, you really want to look at pieces all the range that they attack, not only through the first obstacle, like till the pawn on e4, not because this queen actually has very big power. So you do want to look at those tactical options and tactical weaknesses, thinking maybe there is some pin, maybe some of your pieces gonna be hanging on a certain file or diagonal. So this was quite nice. But
this is a nice tactic. Bishop f4, yeah.
On d6 and now knight
e4. Oh, it's now moving fast. That the times are running out. Players are running out of time, and it's getting fast and more chaotic.
Yes, very soon it could be that we will not have the moves, but we have the camera, so don't you worry, guys. We are going to be able to follow the games most of the time.
Yes.
But here it is actually possible that we'll have some upset as well. But let's move to board number 4, if that's okay, because we haven't taken a look at that yet, and they are still playing. We have other results. For example, board number 2 has already finished with a draw. So upsets are coming, guys. It's not going to be so easy for the top seeders here. And let's see, board number 4. Who do we have here? It's Stefan Prisakaru from Romania against Mahamat Muradli from Azerbaijan. But again, I don't think that the top seed is doing that well, because it is black who has higher rating, almost 2,500. But when I look at this position, it kind of feels white is dominating.
White is dominating, yes. I agree, because there is not much can be done from black. The knight is very powerful there, and many good ideas are coming, such as probably after this rook c8 something, and the c6 is hanging now.
Exactly, c6 pawn was simply falling after rook a8. The threat is rook c8. Rook b8 is also not helping, because the queen would have been overloaded, cannot defend above rook on b8 and pawn on c6. So white is winning a pawn for sure. We have this on the board. Black takes the knight, probably, has to, because with the knight on the board, black has simply no moves. And now I believe after cb, some ideas are connected with queen to b4, create attack. Not no, you cannot do it. Wait, the rook is hanging. Or can you? Maybe this will be the plan.
This is some kind of perpetual attack.
Giving the rook up for the checks. Yes, and white cannot run away. So wait, is this what we have on the board? We see on the camera, right? There is a queen on b4. The
yes,
queen on b4
queen.
Is we see white player is moving the head and kind of thinking, and he takes the rook, and we will have a repetition of the move. So this variation that we were just looking at is on the board, and look at that, Theresa. The king cannot run away despite being a rook up.
The king cannot run away. Oh, all of the all of the good things that white have now feels, because it's draw now. It's drawish now. What can be done? We have that perpetual check, and this thing about chess sometimes makes me feel, I don't know how to describe it by words, but okay, we have such materials advantage, but game, but then there is this kind of check, and then we can do nothing we cannot do much about it. So yeah, it will be checks, and I'm pretty sure in a few moves they will shake hands and game ended up draw.
Yeah, it could be simply two more moves and not even that. That's it. We have a draw. Very interesting, but yet another result where a top seed cannot break through and win the game. So a lot of pressure from the very first game on the strong players. I think on that note, we can see how are the ladies doing. Is that okay?
Yes, let's see how is the ladies doing.
So board number 2, Gohar Beidulayeva. I am sorry, I will have to get more, smooth with pronunciation those names. She won her game. Board number 1, we have Amina, the top seed. She has an exchange. So rook against the knight and the other pieces are equal. So I think she will slowly but surely win her game.
Yes.
Unless some blunders in the time travel. So board number 3.
We have Nazerke Nurgali from Kazakhstan playing against Anastasia Kitadze. And okay, hard to say.
Oh wow!
But here, black is doing quite good in this position, don't you think, Anna? But still, it requires some thinking too. I mean, to improve the positions, black's positions.
Oh yeah, of course. And on 20 seconds, you gotta be careful. Of course, we have this increment of 10 seconds, but as you said, I mean, it seems black is dominating. Black has all the fun for free, good central pawns. But
yes,
then again, if you want to do something, you have to be careful because your opponent might just have some tricks ready. And position, when it opens up, it usually is gonna involve some risk. And in a time travel, this can be a decisive factor. But wait, are they repeating?
Sorry?
It kind of
yes,
like
probably she's trying to increase the time for a bit before playing something different. And here, actually, I have a quite nice and simple idea. Probably to put back the knight to f6 and knight, and so that knight can move to g4 afterwards, because it's the best position for knight to be, because at knight on h5 now, it doesn't seem very active there, and don't have really
and
much to do there. So. We have it. Oh, she just did that.
So good, nice. Good intuition.
Yes.
Yes, certainly, especially after rook e3, right? Knight f6. It was a fork threat. Okay, white is trying to create this blockade on the dark squares, and unfortunately for black, it's not so easy to break through. And she wants to, And I love this. Okay, she's trying, and she's lower rated. Here in the girls section, we don't have so big differences of the rating. It is only 150 points. So I think in rapid, it's not such a big deal. For the guys, it was over 400. So this is way bigger deal. Okay, the knight is, look, the knight not only stopping on g4, but actually going to d3.
Now it's aiming for d3 square, which is quite a strategic square.
Oh no, she retreated to g6. I didn't expect it. So now the rook is under attack, and the only square is of 2. So
what about this? What about this idea at h5 and h4, something like that? Will that work? Oh, she played it.
You are in a complete sync, with Anastasia. You girls think alike. You should be playing in the tournament.
Yeah, to next year will be my last chance, my last year to be able to play in this under 20 junior tournament. Yeah, so probably next year I will play. Okay, queen h6, queen h6, probably h4. Yeah, h4, h4 still can be played, and then rook h7 afterwards, something like that. Okay, once again, me and
Yeah,
Anastasia, we think
you think alike. Totally. Yeah, H4.
yes.
But you know what? This is getting really interesting because also Nurgali went lower on time. So we had this situation in which Black is pressing,
Mm-hmm,
but is a bit lower on
mm-hmm,
time. But now it's already very very equal. So okay, well,
mm-hmm.
this is exciting. This is exciting, guys. And out of the
Very
first five
exciting.
boards, is the only one that is still going. So I think we can follow it till the end of the round, and then we are going to sum up what happened.
Yes.
Just when actually I'm looking at those results on the top five boards, we haven't had any upset. So look, it's quite interesting. So in the girls section, despite ratings being much closer, favorites managed to win. For the open section, there were already some draws. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's quite interesting. But okay, coming back to the position, the knight is continuing the jumps. Look, now
Yes.
knight again is threatening the fork
I
on
like
g4.
this, Anna. I like this kind of night. I wish I would have this kind of night in every games I play.
Oh wow, and bishop e4. Okay, what is happening?
Bishop
Bishop
e4.
takes e4.
Mm.
This is, I believe, okay.
Wow.
It's so hard
She
because
didn't
they
take the
actually
free piece.
no, she couldn't. I think just quickly. I think guys
She
here
couldn't, yeah.
the problem is
Rook
that
f8.
the queen is no longer defending the knight. So I think there were some
Mm-hmm.
actual tactics, but knight g4. This is a counterattack, and now it seems to
Mm-hmm.
be very difficult. But okay, let's just follow. White took another pawn, but losing an exchange. But black still keeps the pressure on the g3 pawn. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
it looks very dangerous for white.
Okay.
But after
Now
knight
is,
f5,
I think, quite clear that
yeah, I think I lost you for a second. But okay, now it seems to be um, just bad for white. However, there are still some tricks. Still some checks possible. Queen f3, that is very unpleasant move. And can white have any checks? Of course, Nurgali is trying, but it feels that black should be able to cover all the squares. It feels... Theresa, are you here? All right, we seems alike. It's just me and you guys for the time being. But yeah, okay. White is trying, of course. She has to now. King h6 moving forward. How can white continue? Queen e6 or d6? Queen h4 as well. Queen h4 probably being the worst option because after king g6 there would be no checks. Okay, now the players also have a bit more time. So there's this over half a minute to decide because the options will be going back with the king. But you know what? Black can even afford to exchange the queens. So sometimes if black needs to cover from the check with the queen, it's also an option because the endgame should be simply winning for black. b3 pawn will fall. D pawn is not going to go anywhere. So this is also a big comfort. Okay, we have king h5, queen e8. King going to g5. Yeah, I actually am very curious how is this going to develop because it is not so easy, you know. But okay. It's much easier for black, of course, because she doesn't risk anything. We are just mainly simply going to follow what is happening on the board. Is white managing to stop the king or not? But wait, now queen f7 is possible? No, queen f7. Oh, okay, I managed to blunder. So there is some risk involved for black, because then after queen e5 would be it. Oh wow, it seemed that black has to be winning.
It is.
Is Theresa
Yes.
back? Amazing.
Sorry, guys. I had internet problems, and yeah, I'm here now. So, how is it going with black now?
Well, she's
Okay.
trying to escape from the checks. Queen f8 was played. And now the only check is queen e6. I am not sure if it changes much. Queen e5 instead. So Nurgali is no longer checking. She just is trying to create some counter attack. Now the rook is rook is attacked. And even sometimes the d6 pawn could go for it as well, because the d5 pawn can go to d6. It's not yet a d6 pawn. Okay, queen g7. I like this move because queen is both attacking and defending, but I'm not sure if you can really improve anything, because queen e8, king h7, queen h5. What do you think? Is black going to manage to escape the checks?
It's hard to say with the time, this is very I honestly don't think so with the time and all the pressure. I mean, and even if black decides to to be brave and to do something, it still has to be well calculated, because I'm afraid something such as blunder will happen, especially when you're running out of time. So, but let's see. Black is trying to improve the position here.
You know what? Now after queen f5, queen g6, king.
Queen
I was expecting queen g6. Yeah, but then I wanted to go back. Would it help? No, still doesn't help. No. Okay, this is so nasty. The check. And this is guys why it is so important, the king's safety. And when the king is exposed without the pawns defending it, covering it like this castle, like this wall that keeps the king safe, then even if we have a lot of threats of our own, the king can always be a factor. And it cannot be immediately, but it can be a long term. That's always something we need to worry about. And here, this is the reason why it's difficult for black to do something with the knight on g2, because as soon as black focuses on attack, white simply keeps checking. But it's so nasty.
I actually have a quite wild idea. I mean, about the king, to move it little by little to white's territory, such as queen g6, king g6, king f5, king e4, king d3. It's possible, but okay, kind of hard. But I just have that, it will be fun to see that on board,
No, but white is stopping even this idea. Oh wow, this is quite a treat. Already in the first game we have such a long battle. And this is already almost 1 hour, and for our dear viewers, more or less the schedule will be that rounds are every 1 hour and 15 minutes. Of course it can depend. If we have a bit longer game, sometimes players might need some rest as well. But more or less, that is the plan. And another thing that we could mention to you while we are looking at the, trying to escape by the Black King, we have 3 games today, and
Yes.
for tomorrow, and also for on the final day of the Rapid on Thursday. So today, except this one, we have 2 more. The players, have the time to kind of acclimatize in the tournament, and then we have 4 and 4 starting at 2 p.m. Central European time tomorrow and on Thursday. So mark your calendars and make
Mark
sure
your
to
calendars.
follow.
Don't miss it. Yes, we'll be right here along the games from day 1 until the very last day. We will be with you guys. So yeah, make sure you don't miss it.
Certainly. Oh wow! But this. Wait!
This
Rook G6 and now Queen G7.
No, Queen D7.
Does it change anything?
Yeah, I was hoping. I mean, probably it could be any change if Queen goes to F7, because after Queen F7, Queen G7, and there is no check anymore after that. But White knows how to do this, so yeah, she knows.
But you gotta keep this long diagonal, yes.
Yeah, diagonal should be on this diagonal only. Yes.
I wonder if the engine somehow manages to escape. Very curious.
Yeah, actually.
And now Nurgali has already gathered over 1 minute, so she's thinking. But I'm not actually sure what is she thinking about. Is there any? Okay, she can also go Queen F5, I guess. Okay, this is another option. F5. So she might be considering that.
But I don't know. It to me it feels kind of unsafe. Okay, she played that. Now it's kind of a change, because it keeps on checking. When you are deciding to do something different, that's why she took some time to think. But yeah, it seems like it's a quite safe move, because she still can do the checks now, as long as, just like what you mentioned earlier, put the queen, only on that diagonal, so the queen can reach the check square wherever it is.
Yeah, now I remember the one painful game that I had myself a couple of years ago in Austria. I was playing in a tournament, a very lovely tournament. I went there a couple of years in a row, and I had a similar kind of position. I was pushing all the time, having an advantage, and then I thought I'm winning. I think just like Anastasia thought she's winning here. And then my opponent just had some very, very kind of out of nowhere defense, also including such checks and some, sudden geometrical ideas, because it all works thanks to the fact that all the time there are those squares, and you manage from the light squares to attack either here or here or 7th rank, and this diagonal is so crucial. So I remember it was actually quite painful for me in this tournament.
I could imagine. Yeah.
I think it was already like 5 years ago, but I still remember it.
Oh,
the are those games. But wait, now we have no checks.
Wow! Finally, what? How did she do that? Okay, G8, C8.
Yeah, somehow Queen from F8, Rook from G6. Okay, but now there is another question. But this is already something, Black managed to escape from the checks. But now, how do you improve?
Well, what's next?
What's
next after this? Yes, because okay, yes, this is also no check after this. Again, this is quite a good move.
Maybe now there will be some idea of king being on the dark squares, and then this diagonal is no longer available. But soon we are going to hit 100 moves.
Yes.
So this is a very impressive game.
Yeah, the trickiest thing is, it takes. Queen Black's queen gotta go somewhere to actually make progress in this position. But if it goes like too far from the Black's territory, from the like 8 and 7 rank, there will be like checks. So this is what makes it hard for Black to improve the position.
Wow. And now White simply
White
grab
is
the
taking.
pawn.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is a bit brave approach, but sometimes this can work as a very dangerous tool, because you were supposedly only defending and your opponent is also thinking only, oh, how can I win this game? And then if you actually get your own threats, opponent can be kind of in a shock, because they were not really considering. They were only, I am attacking, you are defending. And now, who knows? Because in this, in this position, I am wondering, what would that end game be, even in case of exchange of the queens?
Yes, Anna, very well explained by you. That's just what I think, because I was surprised that White that White was started taking the pawns, because our main focus was just how to survive. But now she is actually very brave to to try to take all of the opportunities that there are. So yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Now I am myself not certain who is playing for the win anymore.
Yes.
But this is why chess is such a fun game, But okay, now for sure Black King is a bit safer. There are no those other tricks. But on the other hand, we have the pawns which can start rolling. Yes, Queen C2 is a possibility for sure.
Mm-hmm.
King can hide from the checks. But yeah, okay.
She changed the queen now. Actually, okay, this is actually quite a good idea, because now White is 2 pawns up. So probably that's what makes her having confidence in changing the. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning, that we have to think about the endgame. But now Rook F7 seems like an interesting move. It was not played. Check. Mm-hmm. I also feel like White is becoming maybe a little bit overly ambitious.
If Rook F7, there is a Queen G6, yeah?
Yeah, in that position, yeah, because there was no longer the pin. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, another possibility of of repeating the position. Just this time, Black will be forcing the repetition. What a game! What a game! 98 moves. Very soon we'll have 100 moves.
Yes, one more move and it's 100 move. Probably the longest game from round 1, because probably everyone has finished their games. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And we have White player is claiming a 3-4 repetition and saying that after either Queen C3 or King G2. It doesn't really matter, but there will be a 3-4 repetition. So
yes,
she called an arbiter. Are they playing still, or normally how it works is that they either simply agree, because yes, they both see. They both see that there is a 3-4 repetition, and if not, then arbiter brings a board. And you have to play the game on the board just to prove that everything is also correct with the score sheet, with the notation of the game, and the both players will have to play their moves just by the arbiter. And then in this critical moment of the potential for now 3-4 repetition, they will double check, but with moving the pieces on the board. So I guess that is why we have stopped clock. Yeah, we are waiting. Or no?
Yes.
No, simply arbiter checked it.
Okay.
So it was simply checked. Because I was thinking whether they are going to sit maybe behind and make the whole show of playing it. But no, we just have a draw. So brilliant fight by, 2 ladies from very strong countries in terms of women chess, because we know that Georgia is also very strong, and then we have
Yes.
Kazakhstan, which is a
Kazakhstan,
growing force.
yeah,
So
growing.
so
So
amazing,
yeah,
amazing fight.
amazing fight from all the games in round one, and but I think in this round, as it's still the round one, and probably most of the players still hasn't been warmed up yet, so I saw lots of big time difference from several boards. So probably usually, in this kind of rapid and blitz tournament, as and the next round they will play faster, and we will have more exciting like uh games things and what's going on the board. So yeah, this is very exciting, and yeah, I can't wait to see like the second round, how it would be.
Yes, totally. And we should sum up what has happened here. So if we stay with the girls tournament, maybe we can show, maybe we could show simply the board again. And we have the results. So that's even better. That's even better. Thank you so much
Okay.
to the broadcast team. So yes, on the board number one, as we already mentioned, I believe we had the top seed Amina winning
The
her
top
game
seeds,
against Daria. Sorry?
Daria. Yeah, the
Yeah.
top seeds Amina won the game, and then also seems like there are no big upsets in this round, yeah. And also Gofar won the game
Okay, I think
against the
there was
H1.
something. There was something, this is actually what you see on the screen, dear viewers. This is the whole event. So we have actually only 12 boards, and ninth seed already lost the game. So I think this is some kind of upset. So Lucia
Oh yeah, 9 seed.
She lost her game against Paula Sofia Hernandez Diaz. So that is the biggest upset in terms of resultative games. And we have two draws. One of them was so closely followed by us. And then we have minus plus. Sofia Hryzlova wins her game. Most likely her opponent hasn't arrived to the game.
Hasn't arrived, yeah. From Scotland, yeah, Batia Kanishka.
Yes, so those are the results of the first round. Let's see. Let's see open section, and let's see what has happened there. So here, similarly, the top seed won the game, but already on the board number two, we have a draw. This was this kind of save, I believe, by Arsenin Terov. Even though he is a much higher rated player, he seemingly had some trouble after the opening early, middle game as well. He had a lot of weaknesses, but then managed to equalize the game. So it ended in a draw. Then board number three, Samir Sahi.
The sneaky knight won, right? The game.
Was it?
Yes, I think it was it. It was this too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess so. And then on board number four, we had this also very interesting draw where a white player, again, despite being lower rated, was pushing, but then Mahamad Muradli sacrificed a rook in order to get a perpetual, and the white king wasn't able to run away. So those are the draws. Do we have any big upsets? We do have something here as well. Wow, look, there is some curse on the ninth seed, because ninth seed, not only in the girls section, but also in the open section, lost the game.
Wow. Yes, against Gustav Mikal from Serbia. This is quite an upset.
This is an upset, and this is quite funny that only the ninth seed. So it is some unlucky one for now, for the time being.
Yes.
What else? What else? Only two draws here as well, so very very equal.
Yeah.
However, in the open section we have more players, right? Here we have 24
We have more
boards,
players.
so yeah. So on the lower boards there were some other. We have some draws as well, and one player in this tournament also has not come for the game. But other than that, this is the most crucial what happened in this game. Well, it was an exciting round.
This is just the first round ended, and I already felt like, especially the last game that we watched, it made me feel like, I mean, it took me to a roller coaster ride.
You became emotional about it.
No, I mean, I thought it's going to happen this way, but yeah, that is chess,
Yeah, and in the meantime, we have pairings, of the second round already.
Oh yeah, the pairing is out.
Yes, at least in the open section. I am not sure if also for the ladies. Yes, as well. Oh, nice. So very soon there should be a game. Let me find out. All right. Yeah. So we see the pairings. This is open section. I believe in general, also there, if you want to find any pairings or results, you can go to the official tournament page. If you are watching on YouTube, then it should be. Wait a second. Okay, just a sec. Oh yeah, you have an official website also in the description here. So you can just click, and there are pairings and results available for you from the chess result page. So the biggest page, I believe, for international chess tournaments. And the website of the tournament is Junior Rapid and Blitz 2023.com. So yeah, there are all kinds of information that you might find useful. You can find them there, but of course you can also ask some questions to us on the chat. I am going to try to follow it as much as I can, of course. But for now, let's take a look at the pairings a bit closer, shall we?
Yeah.
So, Theresa, do you want to show them to us? I mean, bring them closer, or do you see them?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The pairings of the ladies, yeah. Yes. In the first board we have Amina Kadbekova as the first seed, playing against Giulia from Italy, which is she will be playing the locals, and the second board, Gofar will be playing against Sofia, and I think this is getting more exciting as the players will be playing against quite a similar rating. I mean, not very much difference. So probably they are also quite in the same level. So so that's why I we will see a more exciting games from them. And also, on the round board 3, we have Balabayeva Senia, one of the rising stars from Kazakhstan, will be playing against her compatriot, Kazakhstan, Sultanbek Zainab, WIM also. And we have this Romania girls champion, Siolasu Alessia Mialea, which will be playing against Kurmangalieva Lia from Kazakhstan. And Nurgali will be playing against Hiroshnik Ekaterina on board 6. And Miroshnik is, I played her a couple of times back then, and we have quite interesting games actually. And I still remember I have one of the most painful games in my life, because I was quite winning with one piece up, but then she was playing very strongly with all of the possibilities, with all of the opportunities possible. She took it, so I ended up losing. So I really can't wait to see all these girls playing against each other in the next rounds, because it will be more exciting, as they will playing against a more match or a more similar elo ratings or level. So yeah, we can see here now. Oh, okay. I also like the ambience. They are talking to each other, Anna, before the game, and okay, now it starts.
Yes, exactly. This is the very important part of the chess tournaments, that you can socialize and meet people from all over the world, make friends, and this friendly chatting before the game is also it's nice spirit that you fight till the very end on the chessboard. But other than that, you can be super friendly as well with each other. So as we said, okay, we focus on the pairings for the ladies, so we can probably also start with the ladies section as well, and then we can switch afterwards to the open section. As we have seen on the pairings, we have 10 players with the perfect score out of the first game. So it's already only 10 players with 1 out of 1, and probably we are going to simply focus on those 5 boards. What do you think about that? Since those are our leaders.
Let's do that. Yeah.
All right. So, but now we need the round number 2.
This is round 2. And the top boards are playing on the stage with and everyone. Okay, there are live games available from every board, so this is very nice, and it is streamed in many live platform. Okay, there is our top step there.
Yeah, we will have round 2, but for now we see the board 1 from the open section. Maybe we could see board 1 from the women's section, because this round we can start with the ladies. All right. Yes, so we have our players. So as mentioned already, we have a local player playing on the board 1 with white pieces. Julia Sala against the top seed of the tournament, Aminaka Irbekova. So, dear viewers, there are some players from your countries, or some players that you are very much eager to follow their games, you can let us know in the chat. So we are here for you. Of course, we are going to focus on the leaders mainly, but we can take a look a little bit at some other games as well. So we have the board, we have the live game as well. This is going to be, I have this feeling that this is going to be interesting game for some reason. Indeed. I don't know why.
Yes.
but Julia already playing also quite quickly, and the top seed is spending time. So what do you think, Theresa?
Well, there is a saying, Anna. Everything starts with e4 c5. It will be exciting. So yeah,
Unless white
I
plays,
also have. Sorry.
unless white plays like Alapin or something, trying to dry everything up. But
Yes.
yes, no, of course.
Oh, but okay. There are viewers who plays Alafin. We just here joking around. We don't take it personally.
No, actually, you know what? So just telling you. So we have an open Sicilian in the game. So as Teresa said, this has to be exciting. And
Yes.
against Sicilian, we have many options, and one of them, C3, is called an Alapin variation. It's a bit more dry, I could say, but it's actually quite a good weapon against Sicilian players
Yes.
because, okay, it will maybe not be as exciting, but you play against your opponent because your opponent plays Sicilian and they want to play exciting chess. So you're kind of like stopping your
Absolutely.
opponent, It's not only about the lines often in chess, but it's quite often about the approach. And we were mentioning during the first round about the type of position that you want to get that is also according to your playing style, according to your mood, and sometimes strategies.
Or
You see your
according to your coach as well.
okay, yeah, but gotta be careful of that. Yeah, but you have some idea and just playing against your opponent's idea. So Alpine variation, I am actually quite a big fan of it, but at the same time, of course, it stops the most exciting variations. Let's jump back to here. After knight b3, we have a5 played by Amina. This is interesting. So very frequently, of course, in Sicilian, pawn goes to a6, preparing the b5. But here, seeing that the knight is on b3, a5, maybe getting a tempo or even two on the knight, and a4. But a4 has a drawback. The b4 square is now available for black, but for the knight and for the bishop, I think very logical move. Bishop b4 was played.
Bishop b4, yes. So that the knight is aiming on e4.
Yeah, bishop d3. Also hard to imagine. Okay, well, there were different options, but this, I think, is the most natural one. And now this is the current position, right? And then I think d5 is a very, very serious candidate move.
Yes, d5. And also a very typical idea in this opening.
Yeah, it is interesting because white player, as we see, still playing rather quickly. So I am quite interested if she is still in the book because I haven't seen this position for sure. So yeah, there are some options. D5 opens the position, which is probably a good thing objectively, but at the same time, we know that Amina, she's a top player of the tournament, sometimes keeping the position a bit more complex, still with, some bigger tension can be a choice if you want to play with black for the win. But d5 is certainly a big candidate. Knight e5 maybe in some ways, or simply castling. But d5, I think this is the first move that you should calculate because
d5,
of the pin.
Yeah. Because
What could happen
of the pin
here?
and knight d5, and it's just good for black. It's just good for black. I mean, yeah. Take a look at this, and I have.
So you like this,
yeah? But yeah, but d5 must be the first that comes into mind. I mean, it's such a very active move.
Yeah, for sure. We see, this is the Italian player now on the camera. You can see very closely. But I believe we can try to move forward because we have quite a lot of games for you, and we can come back to it once it gets a bit more exciting. Board number 2, for some reason we are not getting the moves yet. Maybe it's going to happen. later. So we are going to jump straight back to the third board of the women's section.
Third board.
Yes, and so
Knight e4 just being played.
So Ksenia Balabayeva from Kazakhstan against Zeynep Sultanbek, also from Kazakhstan. So we have a clash here. So it's quite often that chess players, when they travel together from the same country to a different country. So, for example, I was very recently. I live in Latvia, and with some Latvian friends, we went to Canada. So very far, right? And of course, we were four players. So it did happen that we played together, especially that there was Blitz, Rapid, and Classical events. So there was just no way to avoid it. But we were laughing, very much that, come on, we go such a long way and we still play each other. So this is how chess players very frequently approach it. They're like, come on, we could have just played at home, right? But of course, you cannot avoid it. Yeah, but sometimes those clashes need to happen. But on the other hand, I think it's quite cool to have a clash from the same country, players fighting each other on the third board of the World Championship match. Not the match, sorry, of the World Championship tournament. That is quite cool in such a prestigious event to just play somebody from your country. It could be also the case that they know each other very well. So I am curious how this game is going to go. Theresa, what are your thoughts? Are you here? No, sorry.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, because there was like a very quiet sound, so I was wondering if.
I was lost for a bit, but then I got reconnected. Pardon.
Okay, perfect. No worries. This happens. All right. Yeah. So, any thoughts about this game? Are you familiar with those types of positions?
Yeah. I mean, in this kind of position, I think. Yeah, B6. Probably. I would think about. There is a possibility about knight a4. It just sounds good to me, because if B takes c5 and knight takes c5 and we will have an open file on the c file. But then if black decides to not do anything about it, we also have this threat which C takes b6 and the knight on c6 is hanging. So I quite like the idea of knight a4 because it opens the c file of especially when we have rook there. What do you think, Anna?
I was enjoying, listening to your analysis, just chewing and taking a moment to think about those ideas because they make a lot of sense. I think,
yes.
But because at the same time, I don't think I would. Yeah, I am not sure. For me, knight a4 would not be the first candidate move. So this is why, it was enjoyable to listen because sometimes two players, they can look at the same position and they have totally different ideas. And sometimes it's not even that one idea is much better than the other. It's just a different approach. So it kind of widens your perspective. And that was just nice. But in terms of my approach to this position,
I could also say that is also because chess is art. So there is no sometimes in many positions that what also makes chess exciting, that the characteristic of the players decide a lot how they play, and it's not always about which is the best move and what is the best move or the best players, but every players, we have our own uniqueness. So it's also very interesting for me to sometimes hear what what other players say and what other players think. So once again, what do you think, Anna, about this position?
I was trying to play on time, because I'm not entirely certain what I think about this position. So it was another, factor that was good to postpone. But yeah, honestly, I am not a D4 player. So like when I look at this position, I would be more familiar with it from the black's perspective. So B6, for sure, it makes a lot of sense simply as a move. And now the question is, yes, indeed, how should white react? So okay, I was first thinking about some move which is a bit more, I don't know if we can call it tactical, but maybe bishop b5 being an option, or queen a4 being an option as well, just to attack this knight first and kind of see the outcome, and also how will black react. Black could react with going to a5. So, but yeah, you were talking about this knight a4, and knight a4 is a little bit, for me, less intuitive because, yeah, we don't have a castle. I am a little bit afraid if there won't be some tricks later, but I don't see anything directly. So it could be also the case that knight a4 makes a lot of sense just to cover c5 pawn, but also to cover the b2 pawn, like in the future if diagonal opens up. Bishop from g7 attacks on b2. Maybe this move is a big candidate as well. And I think that Ksenia kind of agrees with us. This is not an easy choice, and this is why she's spending so much time here.
Yes. But one thing that we can agree here, that our main focus on this queen side, especially on the c file, right?
Yeah.
Anna?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, this was simply a very big threat for black. To take the c pawn, because black is also very interested to open up this bishop, because this is the position. Okay, it started kind of like a King's Indian. Oh no, okay, it was like a London. All right, but after c4, it's not exactly a typical London pawn on c3. So it kind of switched to positions that resemble Greenfield defense. And the idea is that there is pawn on d5 counter-attacking white's pawns, but then there is this bishop that also really wants to join the game. And it's a very important piece in terms of structure. So black really wants to do some damage here. So white needed to react, but Ksenia chose actually going the bishop to b5. I'm not sure if that was best, but maybe she will try to fight for the dark squares. Sometimes this is a good way. So you give up your light square bishop for the knight, and then you have more pieces that can control the dark squares. So either way, you don't need your light square bishop for that. And also the bishop on c6 cannot help with it, but it's a big decision because it did, in a way, give black a bishop pair.
Yes.
Although how to react now? The bishop on c6 is hanging, and retreating, simply retreating is probably not an option, is it? c6 looks quite unpleasant. So
but
either you take on e5.
Is this an idea that after bishop b7, c6, and what if black takes e5 and c takes b, bishop takes f4, and b takes a8, promoting as queen. So black queen's gotta take, but the bishop on f4, I mean, doing quite good there.
So that was the variation. It's kind of difficult to assess because after rook c2, I think white is enjoying this exchange up, and it will not be enough. Anyway, it happened something else in the game entirely. The exchange on c3 followed. I think this is actually one of the critical moments in the game, because now we have a lot of exchanges and like changes in the position. So in the game, usually those types of moments that can just change the pawn structure or a lot of exchanges, they are called critical moments. They are very important. So you want to kind of put a lot of effort on those, because and later
Yes.
maybe you play a bit more quickly, but here you might want to spend some time because this can affect the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is what happened during this is what happened with the game. I think I Rook C3 looks quite promising to me to have the Rook on third rank, because the Rook now is becoming more flexible, as it can goes to probably anytime soon, or probably in a few moves later. It will be useful to take on to be on f3, or on g3, and to start like some attack on king side.
Yeah, perhaps. Of course, Rook on the third rank is such an very frequently interesting attacking piece. Not sure if it will be that realistic here, but maybe. For now, I think there are some issues in general still to solve here. So maybe we should get back to this game and go forward, because this is only the third board of the women's section.
Yeah.
What do you think, Theresa? Can we move to the board number 4?
Yes. Let's move to the board number 4, and then we can go back to the top 3 board again sometime after that, just to see what has happened after quite some time. It will be fun.
Okay. So board number 4. Board number 4. Alessia Michaela Siolakou, it's probably not how it's pronounced. Apologies for that. Against Leah Kurman Galieva. And here we have a little bit more composition compared to the previous game. But the one thing that I noticed as a first thing is White has much more time. So this is something that I noticed.
Yes.
What have you noticed?
Yeah. Quite a significant difference, but still in a quite equal position. So probably, as a return of a big time difference, I would expect that there will be something, that has been thought of, but okay, probably a few moves previously, Black has a little bit of complicated position, probably, so that's why the time was dropping down. So here the white queen is doing an outpost here on c5. It looks quite strong there, yeah, and the c7 looks like pressed, but okay, c6 will be coming probably in few moves, I believe, and it would not be a problem anymore. But still, in this position, I could see that white is quite dominating the queen side. Yeah, especially after this, probably white can do some kind of double rooks, like moving the rooks to c3, and rook f to c1, and probably after black doing the c6 idea, white can move the a4, and probably move the b5, and as on the king side, I don't see anything much happens now. So it is very quiet from black side, and white looks comfortable. Yeah, that's what I see here.
Yeah, because normally I think in such similar positions, knight on e7 wouldn't really be there, but more on f6, and then sometimes black can hope for the e4 square, because generally when we look at this position, this is a very tactically calm position, so it's more about positional factors, and the most important positional factors are here, I think, the semi-open files. because it's so little here really happening, that those are the factors. So white has a C file that is semi-open for them. Meanwhile, black has the E file, right? And so in those types of positions, it's a position that, again, not much is happening other than that. So you are usually looking for something along those files that are open for you. And also there you can hope for creating some weaknesses. So now we see C7 pawn is pressured. As Theresa was saying, if ever C6 comes, which is very logical to have pawns defending one another, then white has this typical minority attack, because of course black is here 4 pawns on the queen side and white has 3, so white has less pawns, but even though it's less of them, they are trying to push them forward, and with some good exchanges create some weaknesses. So for example, if ever c6, as Theresa was saying, b5, and if black takes, of course not in this position, but as an idea, if black ever takes here, then pawn on d5 could be weak. And if not, then maybe some exchanges on c6 and c6 will be backward. But it's not so easy here. It's not so easy here. And also another ideas are still with a5 and a6, also pushing the a pawn forward and create. Because then again, we will, by attacking the b7 pawn, we are trying to weaken the c6 pawn. So it's all connected to the pawn structure and to the open files here.
Yeah. Yes. A5, A6 is actually a very interesting idea that I just realized that there is an A5 and A6. So yeah.
However,
and I was also very aware that the knight e7, just like you mentioned, felt like misplaced. You know, I was just thinking like, oh, it would have been good. It would have been better if knight is on f6. There will be there would make lots of difference for black.
Yeah, knight on e7 is really passive for now. It's hard to activate it, and it keeps defending the pawn. But I believe we can come back to this one again. So we summarize, I think, the most important ideas. We haven't looked at the second board, so let's see, because before we didn't get the PGN, but now it's on. So we have 2 very strong players, actually, you know, both with white and with black. Sofia Kryslova was actually just at the European Club Cup. I was also playing there. I just came back from the event today. I wonder how much time has she had to move. But I guess, if she was flying from Albania, where European Club Cup was held, then to Italy was rather easy for her. Tournament finished on Sunday, so even if she had a good travel, it's very little time. But she's a very strong player. And about the position, let's see what you think about this one.
Well, it's clearly that now, as per now, that white has 1 pawn up, but I'm pretty sure that it will be it will be taken away and few moves. The pawn from white on the b3, because it's some kind of pawn that is, you know, meant to be taken back again. So yeah, but here actually white can do rook b1, and white can try to do some defense, but then again there are 2 isolated pawns there, b3 and d4, and both are I wouldn't say easy, but it is very possible to be threatened, and probably after also the idea of rook d8 later, and it will threaten the pawn on d4, and let's see what's going to be happened next. But I cannot say much who is like dominating the position here, because it looks like both are still trying to take control over the position. So yeah.
Yeah, I think actually maybe it is more that, well, black is, fighting for equality because black is a pawn down. So even if they will manage to take the pawn back,
Mm-hmm.
that will just equalize, right? And
Yes.
it's maybe not going to be that easy because let's say black takes some pawn, but then white is pretty likely to also take the c6 pawn, right? So it may
Mm-hmm.
not be so easy
Yes.
to exchange two
Yeah.
against one because that is
Mm-hmm.
currently the situation. So I think
Mm-hmm.
actually when we see also the clock,
Mm-hmm.
Black is spending quite a lot of time because maybe she's actually figuring out how to best keep this position, on the edge, not still in the big
Mm-hmm.
trouble, just being pawned down. Now Queen took on b3 and perhaps something.
Perhaps rook d8 must be an idea before.
Before or
Okay.
immediately?
I
I was
mean,
maybe before
instead of
or
taking, yeah.
immediately. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, immediately I was still thinking whether simply queen to g4.
So that black can immediately,
I think we lost Theresa for a moment, but yeah, either way, it seems that black is fighting for equality. Black is fighting to not simply be a pawn down. And for sure, as we mentioned, it is the case that black can put pressure on the white pawns. They are targets, and this is what black needs to do. But, well, in no way is white going to be in trouble objectively. So here, for now, Gauhar Beidulayeva is, yeah, I think doing a good job with white pieces, playing kind of this position for two results. So you are not in danger, you are safe. Maybe you will manage to win, but maybe your opponent is managing to equalize, but still it is your opponent that is fighting.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, I think Theresa, you're back. That's great. On that note, I think we should go
Yeah.
to the open section because the games are on for a while, and we should take a look what's happening in the open section.
Yes.
So
Let's go
let's
to the open
see.
section.
Let's see the very top seed of the tournament. Eranak Sad Oani is playing with the black pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So this is first board. Yes.
Okay. One pawn up, and I I think it's sufficient. It's already sufficient for black to to win the game with having one pawn up, and also the bishop here. Having bishop in this open position, I think more beneficial than having a knight, as it can control more of the squares and more flexible, and also white pawns here in this position are unfortunately for are on black squares, so it makes it more easier for black to handle, or to control the position. So yeah, I really like the role of the bishop in this position, because it's very flexible, and this piece what's going to make black you know claim its victory.
Yeah, it should be just winning
Yes. Yeah,
for
knight
black.
c5, trying to take the pawn, but probably there's not much that can be done. Oh no,
What
the g3
happened?
is
He blundered.
what? Blunder!
He blundered the
Raunak!
rook in one move.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my
Oh
goodness,
no!
it's
Guys, we just witnessed
so
probably
painful.
the biggest blunder in the tournament. I mean, as per now, as per
This
today,
is
Rona Safwani,
this is incredible.
26-50. Rook D3.
And we see he's so upset about it. Of
I
course, I
mean,
mean it's
yeah,
just
of
sometimes
course.
you have blindness, but
No,
it is so rare on this level. Just in one move, there's
very
no
rare.
reason.
Very rare. Yeah. Rook D3. I didn't see if it's, I mean, I didn't realize for a second if it was blunder because I never thought it would happen, you know. I never thought it would happen from I mean, from this much strong player, you know. So that's why I said to you, oh, the jitter is going to be taken away. But no, it's a pure blunder there. But okay. Okay.
Oh
What
my
happened
goodness.
happened. So yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
well, a huge win for Robert, but
Yes.
uh, quite a moment. So let's see board number two.
Board number
Oh
two,
wow,
Samir Saidi against
I am
Noah
still in
Fecker.
shock.
Me too. Me too. It took me, I think it takes us sometimes to move on from the blunder, yeah?
Yeah,
And
and
this is
and
only
I
us
already
as
said, yeah, this is
commentators.
just winning.
This is just us from as commentators. Now imagine as the player himself how to, get over the blunder.
Yeah, it's so hard. And
So
also, as a coach, I am a coach myself. And of course,
yeah.
you watch your students and you cheer for them so much. And you are actually
Mhm.
sometimes so involved in the game, even more than in yours. And
Yeah.
then you see those blunders, and of course you are not angry. At least you shouldn't be, I don't think. But it is so painful because they are trying. They do their best, but there are just those moments,
Yes.
and it's very sad moment for them and for the coach, I believe. So hopefully he is going to get back. But yeah, this is board number two. And
Mhm.
we have an end game in which white is probably a bit better, I would say, because simply the knight on f4 is attacking pawn on d5, and black needs to be a bit more
Yes.
passive because of that.
Yeah. I can say that white is more comfortable here because white, of course, has more space in this position, but I don't think the position is quite promising yet for white because this is very equal. I mean the material and also in few moves like c6. Although it's black is a little bit passive, but also white cannot do much here to like destroy the position or trying to make a breakthrough. Maybe probably the
Yeah, I
idea
am
of,
wondering,
yeah,
maybe a5 now.
a5 and knight d3 knight c5, yeah.
Yes.
Or
Yeah. One thing is about fighting for the c5 square. Other thing, if black takes, but of course you have to calculate because it is still
Mhm.
giving up upon kind of going back and trying to claim at least that it's a
Mhm.
weakness. And
It
how black
is
reacts?
possible, but knight b7 probably. I mean, it would be natural. I mean, but still, the a pawns are not good, and it's so easily being attacked. For example, like knight d3, knight c1, and knight b3. It takes some moves. It takes few moves, but I think it's quite an idea. Or probably
Yeah,
knight
this,
d3, knight c5.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be the idea. Exchange the knights, take this, and claim that here black is gonna stay with some weaker pawns. Okay, that is just my idea of playing for the win. It didn't happen. Apparently, in the game, we have different development. It's a big
Mhm.
decision, especially that Noah is a lower rated player, and giving up upon some moves is difficult, and you might not feel like you need to
Mhm.
do it. I feel
Mhm.
it was It was a good try,
Yes.
honestly.
Yes, and honestly,
So,
yeah, and quite ambitious too,
so
but actually quite promising. I mean, I don't see that it can turn white into like a losing position, because the idea was very clear, to take the rook to d1 and then a1 and then threat the pawn, so yeah, but yeah.
for some reason, we see that Samir Sahidi is kind of unhappy by the board. But I think actually now he's improved his position with himself getting a5 on the board. But you see, his head is moving like something was wrong. He's not enjoying it.
Yeah, 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 I could see his expression was like, or I don't know, probably it's also you know style of playing. Some players have that. And then now, yes, it seems like Noah is trying to. It seems like Noah is figuring out ways to take over the position, because because white is actually quite dominating the position, I can say, though it's not very clearly. But yeah, but compared to black here, white is having, of course, more ideas than black, because yeah, of course, white has more space, and but also the big time difference is also quite it matters a lot here, because this is like a rapid tournament. um and then now we can see both players are trying so hard to find ideas on how to break through the position, um disequal. hmm oh, and now the position is going, so it's already changed a lot. Oh, okay. White has moved exactly what me and Anna was analyzing and what we were expecting it to do. Now is rook a1 being played, and probably after this, after probably black would move somewhere like rook d8, or probably king moves to e7, and we have here, let's say, king king moves to e7, and then we have knight e3 here, and we will have knight c5, and or knight c3, or knight b3 ideas. And this is what happened with the game. um and yeah, both sides were agreeing on exchanging their rooks, and now we're going to a knight's ending with still equal materials, and now it's even more equal, because before, previously, white has more advantage, because white still has rook, and you know we can do when we have more space, and we have more active pieces on the board, we can do many more things. But now that the rooks are not there anymore, the chance for this game to be ended draw is just increasing. So yes, now it's now black is still trying to push through the pawn, with f5 and 3. Not much can be done, but yeah, knight c4. Try knight c4 with the idea of knight e3 and taking the g4, but I'm pretty sure after this, king d3 would be the move, or with a big possibility to be moved to prevent knight e3 from happening, and of course to save the pawns from being taken with the knight. And I don't see many chances here from both sides to actually dominate the position. Yeah. Also, king are stuck there with each other's pawns, because the pawns are blocking the kings, all squares, so there are not much to be done. And also, as we can see, the players are, especially the black player, doesn't seem very happy with the game. But but okay, we will move on to the board, to the fourth board. Sorry. Okay, it's Mamikon Garibian against Gabriel Lumachi. um White is two pawns up here, but soon this pawn on a1 a2 will be, I'm pretty sure, will be taken away. And but yeah, also the e4 pawn of black would be soon also being captured by bishop. But still, what has two pawns up, so it's quite promising, and it's sufficient for white to win the position. Okay, after rook a3 here, king f4 was being played to defend the pawn on e3, and also to threat e4. Bishop g8. Okay. Well, if there is no blunders, then I'm pretty sure the game will end.
Welcome back. We are at the World Junior Chess Championship in Rapid and Blitz. It's happening in Italy, in Sardinia, so players can enjoy both amazing, prestigious event as well as, well, lovely, still summer, even though it's October. And we are on round number 3. The players are sitting by the boards. As you can see them now, they're waiting for the round to start. And this is also the final round of today. So yeah, for sure there will be a lot of action in this one. And I am actually quite surprised about what has happened in the round number 2. So I think we can take a look at the results of the open section, because when we see those, I think it's immediately clear that in this tournament, we cannot be certain of anything. So let's take a look at the results of the open section, can we? Oh yeah, we see actually players already shook hands, starting to move the pieces. But would love to see the results of round number 2. Can we? Okay, we have the rank after second round, but can we take a look at the pairings together with results of the second round? That would be just nice, because we had a lot of surprising action there. Either way, dear viewers, we have, after 2 rounds in the open section, 9 players with a perfect score, and among them, no top 5 seeds. So all of them out of the top 5 have already lost some points, including the top seed Raunak Sadhani, who had a crazy sad blunder, just blundered rook in 1 move in the previous game. So those are the pairings indeed of the third round. You see 9 players are going to fight for the lead after the first day of the event. The highest rated player here is 6th seed Mamikon Garibian from Armenia, and then Konstantin Perer from Austria. Those are the only players out of the top 10, right? Okay, no, 10th seed as well, Dimitris Alexakis. So we are going to jump to the action. In that case, you can see the pairings, but okay, the most interesting, of course, will be the games itself. So very soon we should have PGNs. Maybe we don't have them yet. So before that, let's take a look at the ladies. Let's see what has happened in the ladies section, because we have open and we have a tournament for the girls. And after 3 rounds in this one, we have only 4 players with a perfect score. So actually today we could even have a sole leader as well, or 2 players who are gonna be leading and having a clash for the first place tomorrow. So the leaders are playing, of course, each other now on the first 2 board. Sio Laku, Alessia Michaela from Romania against Gopar Beydulayeva. This is a second seed, so here second seed is doing still well. And then we have Paula Sofia Hernandez Diaz against Julia Sala, and we have clash of Mexico with Italy here. All right, and guys, does it mean that Julia actually won? Yes, it does, because right, in the previous game, Julia was playing the top seed of the event and she won her game. So congratulations for the Italian player. It's always important for the locals to perform well in their country, even though it's not always that easy, because it's a mix of pressure and support. Sometimes support helps you, but sometimes actually there's quite a big pressure knowing you are playing for the fans and many people come and watch you, so it's harder for you to focus. This was actually the case at the World Championship match for women in this July. It was happening in China between two Chinese players. Zhu Wenjun was defending her title against Lei Tingjie, and half of the match was played in Shanghai, which is a hometown for Zhu Wenjun, and half of the match was played in Chongqing, which is hometown for Lei Tingjie. And interestingly, both players performed worse in their hometown. So even on such a level, even though there was a huge support and a lot of fans coming, it was also connected with additional pressure, and for them it didn't help. And eventually, second half of the match that ended in Chongqing, it was won by Zhu Wenjun. So hopefully you were following it, actually. But this was another World Championship. It was a World Championship match. And now we have the PGNs, I believe. Although this is round 2, we still need of round number 3. Seems like they haven't perfectly loaded here for me yet. I cannot access. So still waiting for those. We see the players on the camera, though. We see the players on the camera. All right, what is happening? Since I don't see the position perfectly as well, we are just looking together. Dear viewers, I think there is no pawn on b2. Yeah, there is no pawn on b2. There was some exchange on c3. Okay, I already was thinking maybe there was some sacrifice, but no, this is just an exchange. And probably it's still theory for a Romanian player because she has more than 15 minutes on the clock. Meanwhile, Beidulayeva is thinking. She is trying to figure out whether there is some need to be careful about some move orders, perhaps, or something like this. So some moves that come to my mind in this position are 94, bishop e7. I think 94 is fairly logical to start with it. Put some immediate pressure on this c3 pawn, and then bishop b7, playing on this long white light squares diagonal. So yeah, this is something to consider. You might, of course, still keep it and just simply develop the bishop, or even just start developing knight here, there. So there are a couple of options for sure. So this is first. And this is interesting because, of course, when you look at the rapid ratings, the difference is 200 points. It's quite big. But I wonder, I actually don't know what would be the difference between them in the classical rating. So for some players, they have those ratings much smaller when you only going to look at the Blitz or Rapid. So that will be the case in our event because, dear viewers, this is, of course, a World Championship in Rapid and Blitz. But sometimes they are, much stronger. They simply don't play, especially junior players. They don't play so many rated Rapid and Blitz events. Meanwhile, they are getting a lot of practice online in playing them. So those ratings, I don't think they're going to show their full strength necessarily. So I think this is also why we have quite a lot of upsets in both sections. Yeah, the white player herself has already beaten a stronger opponent in the previous round. She won against Lia Kurmangalieva from Kazakhstan. And when we are talking about Kazakhstan, we mentioned already that in the girls section, among 5 top seeds, we have 4 Kazakhstanian, is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Kazakh, simply, players, right? But yes, they have a very, very strong female chess in Kazakhstan developing in last years. A couple of players like Abdumalik, Sadokasova, and many more joining the elite of the world chess. And now also many, many strong junior players. But interestingly, after 2 rounds, none of them managed to gather 2 points. But the tournament is still long. It's going to be 11 rounds. But yeah, the time is running. Tick tock, tick tock. Actually, this is already 6 minutes that Romanian player is up on the clock. This could play a big role. We were mentioning with Theresa. Theresa is going to join us soon, I'm sure, that this is a huge factor, in rapid and blitz. Time management is a huge factor, and also in that way, opening preparation plays a big role in a different way, I believe, than in classical chess, but it can give you some time advantage for sure. All right. Meanwhile, let's look at the board number 2, because this will be another leaderboard for us. And then I would like to jump to the open section. What is happening here? We had some Greenfeld with G3. Okay, so I kind of am a Greenfeld player. I'm saying kind of because I haven't played it, I think, in 5 years, but but before that, I was a Greenfeld player time to time. This is a very solid approach with C6, I believe, and so kind of more. But C6, it could be as well a main line in this particular position. So I myself would go like knight C6, knight B6, putting immediate pressure on the pawn on D4. This is what you often want to do, opening the bishop and putting just quick pressure. But here, this is a more solid approach, but at the same time, we don't allow E4, D5. The central pawns, they want to go forward very often. Wait. I am sorry, but is Theresa with us?
Hi, Hannah.
Oh, amazing. That's good to have you back. How are you?
I am doing fine. I had some connection problems, but I handled it. Yeah. What about you?
All right, perfect.
All good?
Hopefully, we'll see. But either way, we are in the last round of today, and I'm sure first day is going to be, okay, sometimes there are some small issues, but players also are facing them. So let's see what kind of issues are players meeting on their way. So we have been following here board number 2 of women's section, because we have 4 leaders currently. And yeah, white pushed the central pawns, which is normal. And and black is trying to counterattack. So there are different types of openings. I often like to emphasize it to my students as well. So in some openings, you can meet like D4, D5, and you just immediately meet the center of your pawns. In some openings, though, you allow your opponent to grab a little bit more space in the center. And I sometimes feel like my students later forget that the center is still important and it's still opening. So fight for the center is one of their crucial principles, and it still applies. So we can't just forget about it, because then our opponent is just going to have advantage. We just allowed it for now, but we prepared also pieces in a tricky way to be able to counterattack. But we need to do it. We need to make this last step, and we need to counterattack it. Otherwise, we just gave it up for free. That's not the business that we want to make.
Absolutely.
To give it up for free. Yeah, and this is the current position. Again, I see that white has, just like on the board number 1, Theresa, you were still not here, but the board number 1 was also a position in which white had a very big time advantage, and it's also the case here. So it seems that players with white pieces are a bit more comfortable now here. What do you think?
I think yeah, in this kind of position, in this position particularly, I feel more comfortable as white here, if I can imagine if I were the players. And yeah, bishop g5 just being played, and then black should react, and we will see what will black react. There are candidate moves for sure, such as probably move the queen to c7 is quite solid, I can say. F6 is of course one of the moves that has that has probability to being played, but I think it requires more calculations and, I don't know, positional assessment in order to move, pawns in this kind of position, will as it will decide so much about the position in the upcoming uh, next moves, the pawn structures. So what do you think black will play here, Anna?
Yeah, this is tricky because, of course, f6 would be the way of defending to get a tempo, right? So you don't want to waste time. You defend and counterattack at the same time. It does close the bishop. So here in such cases, I feel like you need to calculate. Otherwise, you can get actually in some trouble. So this is such a subtle situation. And maybe bishop f6 is another option. Again, if it works tactically. Am I not blundering something? Maybe not. Maybe not. So yeah, those are just very... Yeah?
One thing that catching my eyes are the time. Is this... I mean, it's quite much, yeah? I mean, Paula's time doesn't seem like changing or moving since the very beginning. So it's 15. So... Oh, but it's...
And
yeah.
is that really the case? Okay, we have our operator zooming in. No, she has 12 minutes, not 15. So there is some issue with the clock. Okay, we see huge reflection of lights. So we are not able to see. It's some funny situation,
probably
but it's like covered completely by someone.
Yes.
But either way, something is off.
Yeah?
It's not exactly. Yeah, it's not exactly the time that we are seeing. All right, but the moves. Wait, the moves were. I'm sorry, apologies. Were the moves played? F6, I think, is on the board. At least there is not F7 pawn on F7, so it must be somewhere. Or wait. No, F7 pawn is on F4. Okay, dear viewers, I think we have. We have had some connection problem, I believe, with this board, and maybe we're not getting the moves in. This happens sometimes. There are many boards that are transmitted, and unfortunately, there is only that many that can do it without any mistake. So I think perhaps we are going to be switching from this one. Let's see the open section, if that's okay. So we were following an extremely interesting results happened in the previous game. And as I already mentioned, there were a lot of upsets. And now 5 top seeds are no longer on a perfect score. Yeah, so let's see the camera from the first board of the open section as well. This is the position, and we have Martino Bizzi against Garibian. So I am not that well familiar with the player playing with white pieces. However, Mamikon Garibian, he played in an open tournament that I was commentating in August. There is a strong tournament in Riga, in Latvia, Riga Technical University Open. I can recommend to everybody to come and play, because there's place
My
for
sister
such
was
players.
playing there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, but not this year, right?
Oh, but not this year. Yeah,
Some other
probably
year.
last year. But she I think frequently visiting Latvia, especially Riga. Riga is her favorite city.
Well, yeah, I believe she also played in the Grand Swiss 2 years ago, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So Mamikon, he played in the tournament this year, and he performed really well. So he was a little bit lower rated than many of the strongest opponents. But I think there was something, he shared, I think, second place or something. Like, either way, he was very
Okay.
high. He
So
was
probably he
also
is
fighting
one
for
of the
the GM
underrated
norm.
players. Okay.
Sorry?
Oh, boy is sleepy.
Yeah, it's the third round already.
Yeah, it's a third round, and I can say rapid tournament is actually quite draining, as there are no much breaks between the rounds, and you know, in each round there are like always, you know, time trouble and everything that is quite exhausting. So yeah, hopefully after this round they can relax and get ready and refresh to for the next round tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, you're completely right, because there are multiple games, but each of the game is like a condensed version of the one classical game, and you have all this roller
Mhm.
coaster of emotions that are really taking a toll on the energy levels. So it's completely understandable to be tired, especially
Exactly.
some of them were traveling, and who knows how was their travel. They could have arrived even in the night or something like this. So you never know.
Hmm.
But either way, so this is the position now. Of course, there is the spin. There are some possibilities of captures, but both sides have
Hmm.
them. But yeah, both sides have them. I wonder if, because this is a position, either there is some issue tactical due to whatever reason, there are so many
Hmm.
those little. So if the bishop from b5 simply moves, then knight can jump, and bishop from d7 attacks the queen. Many little
Yes.
ideas.
And also little
But again,
traps. Yeah, probably.
it is not the current position. Wait,
Okay.
I think we have some delay.
I think so too. Let's check it. Yeah. Seeing from the board, hmm it's quite different. The bishop is not on b5 anymore. Oh, yeah, the bishop. There were an
So it must
exchange
have been
there.
some takes. No. Yes. Castles. Queen d6.
Hmm.
No. Ah, wait, there was still more moves. Maybe
Yes, and also the a4, a5 things.
something like this.
Uh-huh.
And also f3. I think it's kind of, we missed somewhere one move for black. It seems black has not made one move. Meanwhile, white has already two moves, and this move is missing, and the position is the same, is it? I think so. So
Hmm.
somewhere some of this lost. But either way, I think we actually are facing this type of. Okay, I will just make some random move. Oh no, I can't make such move. Okay, maybe oh no, wait. Oh yeah. We have queen on d6. Oh no, there's still queen d6. Okay, so that is the position now. Yeah, that is the first board, and it seems that this is a position we were mentioning, that the bishop is against the knight, but I do not think that here this is a good bishop, right? This is probably a typical
Hmm.
bad bishop.
Hmm.
For now, it is for sure the case. It's, as you see, very constrained by the pawns. However, sometimes, and sometimes as a white side in similar cases, you can feel like you are strategically almost winning because your knight is so much better. But
Hmm.
sometimes the position might open up, and then you still have to be careful. And especially if you want to
Yes.
win, you might need to go for some more open continuations, which are going to give this bishop some freedom, some air, and even some dangerous possibilities. So of course, this is still very far away from here, but those are types of thoughts that you should have. Because
Yes.
even though we see white has prepared e4, right? F3 pawn is
Yes.
already supporting the e4, but after e4, the position is going to a little bit open up and the bishop would free.
Yes. That's also one of the concerns that white should calculate and should think about, because it looks tempting indeed to play e4 and then with the ideas of having like two pawns on the center, but then again having bishop itself for black, that's like a heaven for black, so because finally the bishop can have something. I mean, the bishop can have more squares to reach. So yeah, let's see what white will do.
Yes, exactly. I think we can get back to this one a bit later. But I do think that white is the one in a more comfortable position here, if we are to sum up.
Yes,
But
agree.
sorry, it's also possible to somewhere over push, but it's more for white who is in control. So board number 2.
Oh,
we have Or Globus from Israel against Konstantin Peirer from Austria. Very close pairing, because it's only 90 points difference in the rating in favor of black, but white color also plays some role. So I think this is a very equal matchup. But again, this is not the position. So seems many PGNs are broken. We will need to zoom the camera, I think, for the players, if we could, because yeah, thank you. Thank you so much to our broadcast team.
A4. Oh, okay. It's the material are equal, but it seems like black has this double pawn, which we can say quite undesirable in most positions. But I don't think that white can actually do much about it in this position, because it's nicely controlled. Everything is defended, and yeah. Or probably rook b5 and trying to put pressure on a5 and yes, exactly, and then rook b5 and probably bring the king closer.
No,
White has some
in
good
general, yes, white is pushing, especially, I like at some point rook going to b5. Unfortunately, we don't have this position, dear viewers. We cannot really show it the arrows. So, white rook going forward to attack the black pawn on the a file. And then, if we bring the bishop and look with the bishop from c3 at the both pawns, f6 and a5. Then we can push also our pawns on the king side. There can be some pins. There is some potential here. So
yes,
I do think that objectively white is in a very comfortable position. But of course, black is much, much better on the clock. And in time trouble, we know that those mistakes can happen no matter what the objective evaluation is. But objectively, due to the fact that black pawn on the a5, this pawn by the rook is on the dark square, it is possible for white to attack it. Meanwhile, this pawn for white, it's on the light square, and black cannot attack it with the bishop. And this is why, in terms of the plan in the endgame, white is better, because white has targets. It's not the case for black. And in such
Yeah.
endgame, how can you really? You need to attack some targets. So other ways how to win in the endgame could be create a passed pawn or create still even in the endgame you can create attack for the king, but it's not realistic here. And also not creating a passed pawn. First you will need to win some pawn. And so that means you need a target. So white has some targets, black doesn't, but it can be a draw, or it can
Yes.
mix up, and black can also have the time advantage.
But thing is here, white is aiming for a win, but black is, I can say, surviving. Yeah, because I mean, black is aiming for just an equal result or position to reach an equal position or a better position just for black. But here white has many ideas and many, as you mentioned earlier, like target, and white is actually aiming for something and for win, with the pressure on the pawn, on black's pawn on a5, and yeah, white is trying to utilize all the advantage he has.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's see if it's going to be possible, and move to the next game. Robert Filiposian against Dimitris Alexakis. So this is Armenian player as well. Like on the board number 1, we had Mamikon Garibian. Here we have another Armenian player against the Greek, Dimitris Alexakis. And yes, board number 3, we see the players. And this PGN also does not work. Oh, we have some cameraman in the back. Some fan is making pictures or videos. Is that allowed, dear sir? Probably it is allowed for some important people.
Yes, or probably this is like a
oh no, what
game just ended. Oh, we're just about to zoom in and see what was happening, but
wait, is it time?
Oh, wow. White wins, yeah?
Oh, and we got the moves. So we can see the board as well, because we got the moves of this position. So we can turn on the PGN, yes, and that was the position at the end in which black simply resigned, because the knight on f6, together with the open h file and the rook on the third rank on a3, ready to jump. This is not a good combination.
Oh yeah. This is like, this is like a typical position of puzzle rush. Something like that.
So do you play puzzle rush a lot?
Beautiful. Well, who doesn't play puzzle rush? But not a lot. But I think I should increase my frequency in playing it, because sometimes I'm just too lazy in doing that. So yeah, but it actually helps, especially before rapid or blitz tournaments. It helps us to switch on our radar, what are our tactics, and yes, moves like that.
Yes, for sure. So okay, here Armenian player 1, and let's see board number 4.
Board number 4,
Tobias Koelle against Havard Hogue.
Hard to say.
I mean, structure-wise, of course, black has an isolated pawn on e6, and king maybe because of that is also slightly more exposed. It's very little though, right? Because the pawn is close to the pieces, so even the king can help with defense. Meanwhile, black is also targeting the pawn on f3, so I say draw.
I'll say draw as well. But I have this idea. What about, the seventh ranked is actually quite weak in my opinion. So I am planning on putting my white's queen on c3. I mean, like probably we can do queen d3 and then queen c3 after that, and it will do quite a hassle for black. I'm I I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and actually, I like this white's idea of pushing the G pawn forward. Very nice, because
Oh yeah.
if ever even our queen goes to the diagonal, like it happened now, you wanted to go to C3, so your idea, then the rook could be in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting fact I have for you, dear viewers, because I noticed that black player playing with black pieces, well, his size is not the biggest, so I just checked how old is he. He's actually 13, so amazing. He's 2200 at 13
13.
years old.
Wow.
So he is getting some great experience here.
Yes, obviously. Um, h5.
But
Okay.
he won against the 2400 in the previous round against the grandmaster.
Oh
Norwegian
yes,
players,
yes.
yeah, Norwegian players, they have even in Riga, we had like a group of 20 players from Norway, and they were all very
Uh-huh.
young and talented. Actually, at the end, even Abdulauf was the one to win the tournament. He's a Norwegian 18, I believe, year old.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he won the whole thing. And,
Okay.
they have great coaching by Simon Agdestein, who was also coach of Carson many years ago, but he's
Oh,
coaching
okay.
many youngsters. He's creating a very nice kind of base for them. It's like academy, and they all can work there. And there are multiple players like 22, 23, 24, even up to 2500. So it's a very high
Wow.
level kind of chess academy. I don't know if this player is also involved, but either way, if there are such strong centers in your
Mm-hmm.
country, it also motivates
Mm-hmm.
others. So he's one of those uh, new new generation of very strong Norwegian players, and only
That's
13,
great.
so he has yeah.
Very.
But look, now sure it's good for him, for White actually. Maybe White overpushed.
Mm-hmm. Um. Yes, probably with this h5 g4. Yeah. So now now we should focus on also defending f3. So we cannot really do much on trying to improve the position. Like I mean, I was thinking of I was very tempted in trying to induce some attack on seventh rank, but it doesn't seem possible for now. But probably it will, like taking rook to b4.
Maybe to A4, because B4 and B7 is anyway
a4.
covered by the queen.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, a4. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perhaps it is, such a position that both players can play around, and then again, in the time travel that I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned quite a lot, I know, I'm sorry, the viewers, but it unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not sure, but it is a huge factor, and very often it just tends to decide a game. Because here are still tricks for like both players. Of course, it also a little bit depends on their attitude and approach to the position. If somebody wants to be super solid,
Yes.
then perhaps we just have a draw. But if they still want to fight for something, then it could be also soon very exciting.
But I think it would be just a draw because I mean both players are a fan as well. I mean, whenever they got attack, I mean, because there is no big attack that can be done also as well. So yeah, but let's see. White, I mean, both players are still feeling like trying, especially White. I could really sense that.
Yeah, totally. So let's see board number 5, because there with the black pieces we have the last person who does score 2 out of 2. So he's the one
Mm-hmm.
still with the potential to join the leaders. We have a camera a little bit further, but we can see something. And yeah, here Abdil Khair against FIDE. But black is just a pawn up, no?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, pawn up with a bishop. And also, but yeah, a4 is now 10, but I think it could be easily defended. or black can do some counter attack, such as g4, g5.
You know, this move rook c5, which has just been played because white has a weak first rank. And see, pawn on b3, limiting the king completely. And rook f5 is an idea. Just go and give a checkmate on the first rank. So if we just put some most greedy move,
Yes.
attacking the knight, if
Rook
knight
no
simply retreats, we have, of course, the checkmate. But
Wow.
of course, white... And this also does not help counter-attacking because... And white doesn't manage to take the bishop.
Yes.
Rook c5, very strong. What should white do?
King c1.
Like here?
And now knight d4 and probably rook f1, king d2, and there is rook b1. Oh, okay.
Yeah, here will be rook b1. Then it's...
Yeah. Then we should...
Other issues. Not the checkmate anymore.
So many. Yes.
Okay, so this may be also not... I think white is in trouble, but let's see still. If taking, this is the most critical. Here, can white somehow defend? Wait, here? Am I blundering something? No, this is just a checkmate. Come on.
This is checkmate, yeah. Probably knight e1,
Here?
yeah, knight e1. Knight e1 and rook.
And
Oh,
it
just rook
doesn't look
e6.
good, right?
Oh, no. Yes.
Rook e6, you know, I was thinking about rook e6, but it seems like
yeah,
rook e4 and... Wait, but this is what happened, I guess. Well, it does seem that black is in the lead, so...
Yes. Either way,
So
it's
he's
like...
How are you feeling in the end games? Are you a fan of end games?
Me, yes, but not during rapid or blitz tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a fan of endgame in classical, you know, as especially the time format that you know, we have additional 40 minutes time. I mean, additional time like 30 minutes after 40 moves, you know. So yeah, I could really enjoy the end game, but But endgame during Blitz and Rapid is stressful. What happened in the board 5?
White resigned. For what reason, I'm not sure, but there are those checkmates hanging everywhere, so I think it was just lost. So
Mm-hmm.
congratulations, and this is one of the players with the perfect score.
Wow.
Yes, so let's maybe come back to board number 1. Here is another endgame, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We are approaching the end, but
White
we will
has
need
one
cover.
pawn up. Yes.
If this is the actual position, then yes. Can we zoom in
Almost everyone can
closer?
finish the game. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Theresa, what were you saying? Who finished the game?
Almost everyone has finished the games, and we have probably 2 or 3 boards left. Okay. But it seems like white has 2 postpones on A and B file.
Yes, it seems difficult for black. So what is the position? How could it have happened? Maybe something like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I lost the access to the position. So let's just see the board.
Yeah, probably let's just see the board as is the light. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't look good for black at all. But yeah, black is trying to do this king g3 and probably do something about it, and taking the g2 and f3 pawns and making pass pawn, especially the f pawn. I don't know if it's possible, but I think the white's a pawn will promote very soon. But still, black has some checks, and the king is coming. G5. Okay.
Yeah, black is trying to go g4, g3.
Mm-hmm.
Or just to create some passed pawn there and claim to be faster because there are also some tricks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think it's the most efficient move previously to move g5 if eventually black moved the king to g3, why not immediately?
Because white was threatening, white could somehow threaten this pawn, and he will, after rook g7, he wants to keep it.
Okay. I thought that the pawn is on g6. My bad.
No, I think it was, but then I think after rook g7, maybe that's not what he wanted, because then after rook g7, he would have lost the pawn. But yeah, this is an interesting race.
Can we move g5? G5, rook takes h5, and then g takes f3, rook h3. And then it would be good for white. Because the pawn is on f3 and it's doing a fortress there. Okay.
Oh wow, such a small time for Caribbean as well.
Whoa, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Oh no.
What's happening?
No, this is my expressions when seeing time reaching 3 seconds or 2.
Yeah, they're getting 10 seconds, but it's so crazy. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
He needs
Oh,
to
come
do
on.
something.
No!
He needs to take, but A7 and A8 would be with a check. So
Oh,
this is
now they
seems like
are
a huge
promoting.
trouble. Huge
Both
trouble.
players,
But
both
F3,
are
that's a check,
promoting.
and it's covering the
Oh,
king
probably
from the check.
rook f5. Rook f5 first after black move f2.
No, after F2, A8 will be with a check.
Oh, there's a check. Ah, okay. Okay then.
Now maybe black will try to put the rook on the 8th rank and give the rook, but I
Hmm.
think after those exchanges, white is winning. Or no? Is it?
Hmm. But black
Hard
has
choices.
pawn on a, which is going to be faster, because it's on h4. Three squares away from being promoted. Oh no.
We have the queen. Queen is taken. Another queen soon on the board, but white is a rook f. Okay, to 8th rank. And now
Yeah.
h3 or f8, f1. But then we'll have another race. g5,
Yeah.
h3,
Oh yeah.
g6, h2.
But there will be checks. Black will do lots of checks, and it will be difficult for white to improve the position because black will keep doing check. But it doesn't mean it's impossible for white to win. But this kind of position, it will be lots of checks, and it's just about how white can figure out the way to, you know to improve the position and avoiding the checks.
Yeah, well, now I think king has to go to c3. At least that would have been logical, unless he wants to hide the king to b1 behind the pawn. Either way, white
Yes.
is still fighting for a win, fighting to be able to realize advantage of the pawn. Yes, actually, king c1 is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
He will try to use the pawn as a shield from checks.
Yes. And then now king a1 soon, and then if being checked from a file, on a file, the queen will be covered. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna check. Aha, no, I cannot check. Okay, so we are going to stay with this game. Probably it's gonna be actually a long one still.
Yes.
Oh, somebody
Where's
probably
she?
touched the camera. Oh, queen end games are so tricky. So many checks.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Anna. Exactly. We've been there before, and we we know how annoying it is. To be wanting to just move our pawn and promote it and make another queen, but then the checks are get in the way. I, what if queen a8 and queen h1 and keep on doing that? Oh, but there is queen a3. Do you think there is some kind of perpetual here?
No, but queen a3 is not possible because the pawn on a is a draw. You can exchange the queens.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, also, oh yeah, one of the famous endgame principles.
What after king c2?
King c2, king c2, then queen e4.
King c3?
Actually, queen c2 is king c3. queen d5 probably.
But then b3.
Yeah, improving the position little by little. The queen cannot check on d2 because there will be a pin, queen b2. But what if after queen b2? Oh, there it is not possible because the king a3 and then the pause pawn just there.
Yes, exchanging of the queens has to be done only when black is certain that the pawn ending is a winning one. Sorry, draw.
Mm-hmm. Queen a5.
Very small time, only seconds for Caribbean.
Yeah.
But I think now it must
I
be a
hope.
draw because pawn is hanging, and
Yeah.
now I think those checks, the checks will be there. With the king so close in front of the pawn, also you can exchange the queens in most of the cases.
Mm-hmm. Why not king b4? King b4 was actually not bad.
Oh yeah, I was also expecting it, but I guess he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, he's making moves only on 5 seconds.
Queen b2. Queen b2, king b4, queen a3, and then now we white have control over the most of the squares in the area of the near pawn.
Yeah, but king can go back to c3, and black also wants to keep just checking, right?
Yeah. 7 seconds.
I have actually seen players sometimes forgetting about their clock in such situations, so let's hope it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, dear viewers, just to remind you that this is the last round of today. Tomorrow we are back for the fourth round at 2 p.m. Central European Time. And tomorrow we will have 4 games. The same schedule is going to follow on Thursday at 2, starting 4 games. And Friday is a free day, so that will be a moment to catch our breaths. And then on the weekend we have the Blitz, and that will be another 2 days of action.
Yes. Mark your calendar, guys. Tomorrow will be also starting at the same time. But will be just a little bit longer as because we have 4 rounds tomorrow and we have only 3 rounds today. And for the Blitz, how many rounds we will have, Anna?
I believe also 11.
11. And yeah, mark your calendar and don't miss it. We'll be with you guys.
Yes, and as we mentioned at the beginning, this is quite unique situation in youth events because actually the winners are getting quite a prize money. And in open section, it's 2,500 euros just for a
Wow.
couple of days of playing chess. So it's it's really amazing because usually there are no prizes in those events.
Yeah. As it also the first time ever from being held, and yeah, I could really see the enthusiasm from all the players, all these talented top-rated junior players from all around the world, as well as the audience, and watching this event. So yeah, it's very amazing. Oh no, what happened
Yes.
in the game?
White is
Do
making
you think
progress.
do you think it can really work out? I mean, for white.
I think actually now, yes.
Okay, there is a hope. We can feel some hope here.
I think it's now difficult for Black, and he has very small time.
Mm-hmm. Yes. White keep on improving the position.
Now Black has no check, so a placement of the queen is very good.
Mm-hmm. Queen c5 looks good, don't you think?
Yes, or queen e6 or queen c5, yes. One of the moves. I'm not sure which one, but queen d4 on the board.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
King d5. Oh, king a5. King a5 would be good. Is it? Okay. Okay. Queen c5. And now the is slowly get into the eighth rank, and white is slowly improving his position. So from the recent moves, we can see a positive trend from white moves, because we could really see the progress move by move. And
Yes, I think it will be quite a painful loss.
mhm. But still, for black, don't give up yet, because we never know. We never know what kind of position it will bring. There could be chances. There could be sudden, blunders, or a sudden opportunity for black to, do something. And now, the checking starts again. Uh, it kept on. Black's queen kept on checking white's king, and yep. So now the goal for black is just to keep check being without being forced to for the queen to be exchanged. So there is still hope, actually, for black. And yeah, guys, this is a very exciting game, and I'm pretty sure that it has reached already like 100 moves, as we cannot really see the PGN here. I mean, the board, and I can only see it through the video, so I don't know how many move has it reached, but I'm pretty sure it has already reaching 100 moves. And yeah, I was I was quite having uh an optimistic feeling for white to be able to win the game, because it kept on improving the position. But now, I'm not as sure yet, as checks everywhere, and black's king is also there blocking the pawn. And even if uh White is able. Oh, now it's draw. Yes, now it's drawish. Yeah, no. Okay. They will shake hands in a bit. Yes. Great. Congratulations for both players in the board one. And as we can see, they are discussing now, analyzing, probably, yes, about so many things happened. The positions was up and down for both players, and we could see White was completely winning with 2 pawns up, and this is so. I think the moral that we can take here: don't give up in any position, because there would always still be chances for us to, to actually improve the position, especially at rapid and blitz. Anything can happen, with the limited time that both players have, so it is very important also to have the endurance and uh to so that we can keep on uh, being focused to the game, and to always try to make the rightest move in every position, no matter regardless on probably we are in a losing position, or etc. So yeah, we should keep trying our best. So guys, it seems like it is it was the very last round of today. The last game of this round, and we will be back. I will be back tomorrow at the same time, and I will be commentating as well for 4 rapid rounds. So mark your calendar, and don't forget to watch all this top-rated, talented junior players from all around the world will be competing to fight the title of the Rapid and Blitz World Junior Chess Champions. So yeah, I had an amazing time with you guys, and yeah, I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. So yeah, I will be here commentating for you guys. And now I need to sign off. I am Woman FIDE Master Diajeng Theresa Singgih, and thank you so much for today. See you tomorrow.